You must have seen use of background images on several websites. Let us open Internshala's homepage once again. The image at the top you see running across the screen is one such example of background image. Let us learn how we can add background image using HTML. Once again, I will go back to test.html file and clear all the code so that we can concentrate on background images. Background image can be added to any element. You can add background image in the element using background image property. I would like to add background image to our page and I would like it to look something like this. So in short, I would like to add image behind the h1 and h4 element on my page. Since I want image behind h1 and h4 element, I should add a division which should include both these elements as well. Since I plan to use unique background image, I will give an ID to this div. Let me call it background image. I will go back to my CSS and write an ID selector named background image. To add background image within this ID, we will use following property. Here for the time being, let me add Bruce Wayne image that we used earlier to see how exactly background images work. Let us see what the outcome would look like. You will observe that the small image that we used is being used throughout the division until the entire div contains background image. Browser, when it reads background image, starts filling element from top left corner until entire element is filled with the image. In this case, since height is not defined, only one row is being added. If the div height is more than that of image height, browser would add multiple rows containing image. Let me add a bigger image which I intend to use as my background image. I have already placed the image in the img folder that we have created earlier. I will go back to CSS and link the image of my choice. You will note that I have linked bat_cover image. I will add text content within the image and I would add few other properties as well, such as height, padding top, color, margin top, etc. and set some value to each of these property. Here we are specifying height of the image being used. By mentioning color property, we are asking browser to display content within this div in white color. We are specifying padding top as 50 pixels. I will add h1 and h4 content that we want to be displayed above this image. Once again, as a good practice, I will put them in a div. Let me give identity as content to this div. You would have noted that we want this text to be at the center of the background image. So, I will add it within center container. Let me style this div. You would have noted that I have added background color using RGB code, and we have added another number next to RGB value. This is called alpha value and it is used to set transparency of the color. We have specified max width, padding and margin for this content div. Let us go back to browser and see how this background image looks. We can go to developers tool and see that padding is part of background image. You can also see that image div has assumed styling properties we have mentioned. The text color is also white. I will simply copy this HTML code of test file and add it to my index file. Let us see how our superhero page looks now. In this lesson, we learned to add background images. You can read more about background images in the helper text section.